So I've been wanting to post this for a while. This is really cool. You're going to like this if you haven't seen it already. Have you heard of microgreens? Cool stuff. No, I'm not selling anything here. This is just something really cool to share. Microgreens, sprouts. In our case, what we're using, broccoli seeds. They're the easiest to work with. And so what you're doing is you're growing these guys in a container that has no soil, just moisture. It's pretty slick. There's just a few things you have to do, and in 1 week or less, you got some salad greens to eat. And I'll tell you, they're good. So what we do first, we start with the mason jar. And it needs to be clean. Okay, a little cleaner than that. Hot, soapy water. Just make sure it's clean inside. You don't want to be growing microgreens and microorganisms and such. So what we do, once we have that clean, we get ourselves your standard lid. And in our case, what I use is some of this pet-proof screen. The holes in it are perfect. The seeds won't go through, water can, and you can see why it's important here in just a minute. You can also buy these lids. They sell them online. I like to save the almighty penny, dollar, anything I can. So what we do is we take our lid, put that on there. We're going to shape this the jar, screw that down. But first, we're going to add our seeds. We're going to go with, like I said, our broccoli seeds. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm not going to go into the details. There's a lot of videos on this. Check them out on YouTube. I go with 1, 2 tablespoons. It's the magic number. You can go more or less. Kind of depends on how big you're growing your greens. But this is like the perfect number for us. So we go with 2 of those. Now we take our lid. Press that onto the top. Give it a little push. Don't worry, we're not going to be taking it back off for a week. This one was really pesky. We did it. That's the important part. So next, this is tricky stuff here. Water. No, not aloe water. That's just what it says. So we go with no specific amount. We dump it all over. A little water. Okay. Give them the old rinse-a-roni. Then now the idea here is to get all the water out. Not all the moisture, but you do not want your seeds floating in water. Again, microorganisms. Microgreens, that's what we're going for. So you don't want to be. And what you get is this really cool. That's day 0, as we call it. And set it aside. Some people will put these in the dark right away and they'll keep them in the dark the whole time. Some people put them in a window, and I've gone both ways. I've had great results. Check this out. So that's from the start. This is day 3. I kid you not. 3.5. Pretty slick. Now what you want to do with these every single morning, every single night, try to be consistent, same time every morning, same time every night. Do that rinse. Put the water in, rinse them out. Set them aside. Make sure there's no floating water in there. You'll be good. This is day 7. These guys are ready. They are packed. This will make a lot of salad. So what we do is we go and we start one every 2nd or 3rd day, depending on how much we're eating. And that keeps us supplied constantly. We're never without. You take these on day 7. What I'm going to do a little bit later here is scoop them out. It's nice to use the wide mouth jars. I don't have a lot of those. The reason being, it's hard to get those greens out. There's a lot in there. You bring them out, you float them in water. There's videos on this. Maybe I'll post one. I don't know. You float the greens in the water. The seed pods will float to the top, and you can just kind of skim them off. They're not going to hurt you, but the texture's not the greatest, and it's nice to get rid of those. So you do that, and then you dry them. Just make sure they're not soaked. Put them in a container, stick them in the fridge. They're good for at least 3 days. Still crunchy after 3 or 4 days. Give it a try, you're going to love it.